Imagine you're at work, part of a solid team where things seem to flow naturally. But then, in an instant, everything changes. Suddenly, there's a new leader, new rules, and new expectations that no one anticipated. That's what the characters faced in the 2004 movie, In Good Company. Today we'll explore how teams and teamwork can help aid organizations during these difficult times of change. Additionally, we'll learn how the multiple stakeholder model contributes to greater workplace democracy, where there's less top-down decision-making and more bottom-up collaboration and participation. As you watch In Good Company, look for places where more participatory decision-making could have helped, and where teamwork shows its true strengths as well as its struggles. The multiple stakeholder model encourages including many voices and perspectives in decision-making. This model values workplace democracy, where everyone feels they have a stake in what happens. Stan Dietz outlines 4 key ways to boost democracy at work. First, when employees act as owners. Second, merging worth with decision-making. Third, sharing information widely. And fourth, letting social structures develop naturally. Think of scenes where characters might have benefited from these democratic ideas. Are there times when involving more team members in decisions would have changed things? Remember, democracy at work isn't about no bosses or leaders. It's about fair involvement in decision-making practices. A team-based organization is structured around independent decision-making groups rather than individuals, and it's designed to improve strategies and outcomes. In a team-based setup, employees often feel more engaged because they have a say in their tasks and a shared responsibility for outcomes. This kind of employee engagement means being fully involved, enthusiastic about one's work. In Good Company, pay attention to how team members respond to changes and the impact it has on their engagement. Are there characters who remain enthusiastic, or do some feel disconnected? Consider how an increase in workplace democracy could affect their motivation. Team decision-making and workplace democracy can be beneficial, but it also has its challenges. On the positive side, having more involved in decision-making can lead to more ideas and information, higher employee morale, and lower job stress. However, it's also important to pay attention to the drawbacks. Teams may take more risks due to safety in numbers mentality or groupthink, and decisions may come more slowly. And lastly, dominant personalities might steer decisions and overpower more quiet personalities. Watch for moments when team decisions in the movie lead to both positive and negative outcomes. Think about the multiple stakeholder model. Are there places where more democratic input could help? Or times where too many voices might complicate things? Can you identify any dominant characters influencing the group? Teams go through several stages: forming, storming, norming, and performing. What a rhyme. In the forming stage, members are often polite as they begin to figure out the group dynamics. The storming stage brings conflict as people become more comfortable to share their real thoughts and authentic perspectives. Norming is when the team finds a groove, and lastly, performing is the peak, where they operate at their best and most efficient. In the movie, observe how these stages play out in response to changes. Which stage seems hardest for the team? In which stage does the team seem to really excel? Conflict in teams is natural, and it's often where you see the most opposing goals and views. Consensus doesn't mean everyone agrees completely, but it's about finding a workable solution. Norms within teams guide acceptable behavior, but they can shift with new leadership. In the movie In Good Company, there are points where conflict arises, and you'll see how they either reach a consensus or end up at odds. Consider how the team navigates conflict. Is there a balance between consensus and individual views? Notice if some members might be struggling with the new norms or adapting more easily. Each team member typically plays a role in how they communicate within the team, and those roles might change or even overlap. A task role is when a team member communicates a new idea or summarizes past ideas. In a maintenance role, a team member will use communication to relieve tension in the group, usually by telling a joke or changing the subject. In contrast, though, a self-centered role is when a team member seeks to dominate the group, downplay the group's attention to other goals, or redirect the group's focus on their own needs. In the movie, consider who fits these roles and how they contribute to or hinder the team's success. Watch how well team members share information and whether that communication supports or damages the team's cohesion. Is there someone in a task role summarizing and keeping progress on track? A maintenance role that keeps the group in good spirits? Or a self-centered role who diverts attention? Identifying these roles will help clarify how the team operates and also where it breaks down. Finally, consider employee engagement in relation to shared decision-making. When employees are truly engaged, they're committed and enthusiastic, and they often spread this good cheer to not only other employees, but future employees. The large membership retailer Costco often receives high marks for employee engagement because its employees feel their supervisors care for them as people. Their fellow employees are committed to doing quality work, and their work provides them with opportunities to learn and grow. As you watch In Good Company, ask yourself where engagement could be improved. Think about the changes to the team's decision-making process and whether members feel heard or ignored. In Good Company shows us the ups and downs of teamwork under pressure. The multiple stakeholder model and the concept of workplace democracy help us see where more voices might have created better outcomes. This is important because the cost of employee disengagement is big. Businesses with large amounts of disengaged employees suffer 30% more turnover compared to those with employees who feel they bring value to their work. As you watch, look for moments where more democratic decision-making or a stronger team dynamic might have made a difference. And remember, these are real challenges many teams face: keeping morale high, balancing conflict, and making sure everyone feels valued. I feel valued. Do you feel valued? Okay.